course, Redskins play the Cowboys this week, and we know that the number one challenge for the Redskins team will be stopping the run of the Dallas Cowboys' great offensive line. But they're feeling confident because they're coming off a game against the number one rushing team in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers, who they held to 81 total rushing yards. Now, if you look at the actual game play and game flow, if you look back on it, for whatever reason, they got away from early success where they were handing the ball off to Christian McCaffrey and in a couple, he ends up with just 8 carries, I believe, for 20 yards. The Cowboys are not going to do that. The Cowboys will continue to pound the football. After a slow start, Zeke Elliott now has carried the ball 20-plus times in each of the past 3 weeks.
Plus, he's involved in the passing game as well. Look at his catches over the past few weeks. He had 4 in week 4. He had 7 against Houston in week 5. Only 1 last week, but he had 24 carries. So he is heavily involved in that offense.
You're going to get a heavy dose of Zeke. And the other thing is Dak Prescott, he had 11 carries against Jacksonville this past weekend. So you're going to have that read option. You're going to have Zeke getting the ball a lot, and you're going to have Dak running out of the backfield. You look at they put up 40 points this past week against Jacksonville, and it was another game in which Dak Prescott didn't have 200 yards passing.
No. But he did throw to Cole Beasley a lot.
He did.
He targeted Cole Beasley, 10, 12 times. I think Beasley had 9 catches in that game last week. By the way, Zeke, in the last 3 games, he's only faced the Skins 3 times. He's had 97 yards, 150 yards, and 83 yards. And I believe he's got 4 touchdowns.
And Dak has never lost to the Redskins. Hasn't happened yet in his career. So hopefully the Redskins are able to deal him his first L as the starter in this matchup.
Correct.
Thomas Boswell writes in the Washington Post about Alex Smith having a crucial advantage over Kirk Cousins. As we do this comparison, yesterday we spent some time talking about Alex Smith and the offense and whether it would start firing on all cylinders. What we're seeing is a guy who takes care of the ball. And if you look at the comparisons, in 4 seasons, Kirk Cousins in 54 games started had 55 turnovers, including 16 lost fumbles. If you go to a similar time frame for Alex Smith, starter, so not three less starts, he only lost 6 fumbles in 51 games. So even though Alex is not putting up the touchdown numbers and he's not putting up the yards, he is taking care of the ball better. Kirk Cousins this past week had a fumble, which was returned for a touchdown, and Cousins has twice as many turnovers as what Alex does. Is this a winning formula? We can open up to callers, 800-636-1067. Sure, you're looking at a guy who's not moving the ball, it seems like, early on through 4 games, like Kirk Cousins. But they are 3-2. And maybe this is a better formula for the Washington Redskins, just having a quarterback who's more of a game manager, doesn't have the critical turnovers, and takes care of the ball.
All right, so Redskins fans, are you okay with yards, maybe a touchdown or 2? He'll take care of the ball, or would you rather have the guy who can throw for 400 yards every now and then, minimum 300 yards, but he's going to throw some picks and he's going to fumble the ball? What would you rather have?
Over 4 years, Cousins has twice as many turnovers as Alex Smith when you go interceptions and fumbles.
Right.
So, and we know they've been a mediocre team.
And we knew that going in. That's what he does. He takes care of the ball.
That's his thing.
He doesn't put up the video game numbers, but he does take care of the ball.
I think Skins fans would be okay with it, especially if it leads to a playoff
If
berth.
they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they go 8-8,
but the question is,
and they lose games, 20-17 because they're not scoring, then, maybe people would have a different feeling.
But if he does get them to the playoffs, the question with Alex Smith always is he good enough to advance you deep into the playoffs? Is he good enough if you're going to get into a shootout in a playoff matchup? Can he do that?
Well, he
can
hasn't
he win
proven
that sort of game?
He hasn't proven
it's a big question on him.
Phone number is 800-636-1067. Are you okay with the guy ball over throwing the ball downfield? That's a simplistic way to look at it.
By the way,
but we do know, we always talk about this. What's the number one most telling statistic in the NFL in games? It's turnovers. Generally, whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game.
I didn't realize that Cousins' number was that big.
Of turnovers?
Yeah. Did you realize it was, what'd you say it was?
55
55?
turnovers in 54 games.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that.
So he's good for a turnover per start.
I didn't realize the fumbles were that large. 16 lost.
16 lost fumbles.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I don't know. Like I said, it kind of depends on what
Alex
happens
had
at the end of the year.
6.
If this team wins the division and gets in the playoffs, you'll take the quarterback who has 20 touchdowns but only throws 5 picks.
Right.
And maybe has 1 or 2 lost fumbles.
And right now, right now, Alex Smith is middle of the pack when it comes to quarterback rating. He's 18th in the NFL. Basically, he's where Eli Manning is. Think of all the criticism Eli's
you don't
getting
want to
in
be
New York.
in that neighborhood.
Alex Smith's quarterback rating is 91.9 right now. Eli is 90.9.
Yeah. Not good.